Hey everybody, welcome back to Shared Weakness. My name's Alex Ducharme, and let's get into it. I'll answer these as fast as you can.
Okay, 7.
What is
All right, go ahead.
what is the theme song of your life?
um, 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 it's by Vocal Few. Wild I Am. That's the song.
Wild
Yep.
I
All
Am.
right,
All
you pulled
right.
the name.
What's your favorite pastime?
My favorite pastime? Oh, rock climbing.
Mm. What kind of dessert would you be?
Cheesecake.
So everyone, this is Domenic Thatchuk. Me and him actually grew up not too far away from each other, and now we're living together in Ottawa, and we work together. Um,
Woohoo.
and so, you know, Dom, what weakness are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about avoidance.
Avoidance. Um, So Dom, why don't you talk about how can people know that they avoid things or they have
Mm.
a weakness like this?
And thinking about this, I find there's a bit of crossover with procrastination, but there is a
Mm,
difference. And so on a very surface level, very practical, avoidance is something like I have a greater tendency to step over my dirty clothes on the floor rather than
mm,
wash them, you know, or even beyond that, something like, looking back to like when I first moved out, in the first time I had to do laundry on
mhm.
my own, I'm pretty sure I wore every single article of clothing that I own probably twice before I finally buckled down and was like, I have to figure out how to do my own laundry.
Time to do
And
laundry.
so, yeah, it's when you acknowledge that there's an issue and it's like,
Mm,
okay, like I don't know how to do laundry. I'm gonna have to eventually, but for now, I can
uh,
just keep wearing my clean clothes. And so, avoiding the real issue and just yeah, utilizing those little workarounds, which sometimes, to be fair, is prudent. You
mhm,
can't tackle all your issues at once, but uh, if it's done consistently, I find it doesn't lead to good things.
mhm. Yeah, it's that main. But I think I'll do this other thing, and I
Yeah,
think that's where
exactly.
the real avoidance comes in. So why don't you talk a little bit more about your experience with avoidance?
Mm, yep. Well, the first example that I gave was a real one there. That
Mm,
I know that I've worn all of my clothes because I've done it to avoid doing laundry. Um, and that I'd say that also is consistent in other areas of my life. Like my gas tank in my car usually isn't
mm,
filled until the gas light comes on. Like there are many times it was probably convenient to stop and fill it up, but I'm gonna wait until it's like,
yeah,
well, now I have to fill it.
yeah.
Um, so lots of little practicals like that. Those I don't find are super damaging. The avoidance that manifests itself that I do find is damaging in my life is when I tend toward an avoidance of real heart issues
Mm,
that are happening in my life and can have a tendency to blame my problems on external things. So this year actually has been a stellar time to grow in this and be aware of it because the pandemic is such an easy thing to blame my problems on. I can sit around at home and be like,
yeah,
oh, I feel like crap. I feel restless. I feel like, like I'm just not happy. And I can be like, well, it's all this dang COVID. It's the stay at
yeah.
home order. It's because my favorite places are closed. I can't see the people that I like. And those are real problems.
Hmm.
And I'm not diminishing those because they are tough things. But at the end of the day, like my happiness shouldn't be in those things, and I should be able to be content without those things in my life. And
Yeah.
the truth is, pre-COVID, I wasn't perfectly happy. So to
Mm,
blame COVID on my lack of happiness, I know that's nonsense. But I do it because it avoids tending to the fact that, hold on,
mm,
this isn't just COVID's fault. COVID sucks, but there's something real and something more problematic going on here that I'm avoiding tending to,
yeah.
um, which usually is just because it's difficult, like greater
Hmm.
weaknesses in myself, small failings in ways that I don't feel like I'm growing or ways that I'm feeling discouraged or despairing. And, you know, those are the things that really need to be tended to. But
Hmm.
if I just blame it on COVID and say, oh, I'll just wait till the restrictions are lifted, that's a lot easier.
Yeah. And that's just avoiding the fact that, you can make yourself happy without
Exactly.
without, going to all these places and seeing all these people. You
Yep.
can find that happiness. And especially, because we are Catholic, and we realize that our happiness comes from the Lord,
Amen.
and living with Him. So, so Dom, we've talked about your experience and how to like kind of diagnose that
Yep.
you tend to avoid things.
Yep.
How can someone take the right steps and change and stop avoiding things?
A lot of it is kind of just a growth in discipline. A lot of it just acknowledging the problems as they are. The
Mm,
practical ones I found were easier. Things like the laundry, like just looking, being like, okay, like essentially giving myself a talking to and being like, Dom, you have to do your laundry eventually.
yeah.
Just suck it up. You've got time today. Get it done. You're doing your future self a favor. So those I find is just a reorienting. That
Hmm.
idea that if I take care of these things now, I'll be more free to do things I want later, and
Hmm.
letting that settle into my mind. With the deeper issues, I find it's simply a question of asking the kind of the difficult why that I don't want
Hmm.
to, not being settled with the answer. Because I can sit at home and be like, and even in the past few months, especially while we were under stay-at-home order, there were days where I'd sit and I'd be like, man, like I just feel like crap. And it's easy for me to say that, well, it's because I haven't left the house in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
But it's harder to say that, no, like really, why do I feel like crap? Because saying I haven't left the house in 2 weeks, like that's pretty broad stroke. Well, I feel like crap because I don't know, maybe I didn't pray well this morning. Maybe I
Hmm.
haven't been eating well. Well, why didn't you pray well? Well, I was super distracted. Well, why were you distracted? Well, because this thing from work is really on my mind. Well, why is it on your mind? Well, because I'm not really sure that I can get it done, and I've been afraid to ask for help.
Hmm.
You know, I find there's always something deeper that I just want to be satisfied with an easy answer and to just keep asking the why until I get to something that I'm like, crap, this isn't something that I want to admit to myself. And as
Yeah.
soon as I have that feeling, it's like, aha, bingo.
Yeah.
Time to buckle up and just accept a hard truth.
Absolutely. I actually want to issue a challenge to all of our viewers. Um, find that one thing that you've been avoiding and take care of it.
Mm,
Um, I know that even I struggle with doing my laundry. I sometimes will do the same thing you do and be like, oh, I'll take care of it another day. Oh, I've still got clean clothes, and then eventually it comes time and I'm out of clean clothes, and eventually I just have to do it. But
yep.
taking that step and being like, I can get ahead of this. Um, and so yeah, so just take time, think about what you've been avoiding, and take care of it. Um,
Mm,
yeah. So thank you, Dom, for being here. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Um, for all of our viewers out there, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow us. Um, like I said, be a friend, tell a friend. So if you like what we're doing, tell your friends, tell your family, um, spread the word, and just let us know what you think in the comments. If you have questions or something, shoot them over to us. We would be more than happy to answer them. Um, so thank you all. This has been Shared Weakness. Peace.